High Rise Mystery, Chapter 44. Miss Kowalski wasn't carrying anything around her wrist for once. It was strange to see her unburdened and unadorned. She watched us step out of the lift, but didn't step in. Instead, Mrs. K stood next to us. "Girls, I heard about your papa," she said, panicked. "I tried to find you, feed you, and confess." "We're not hungry," I said. "Speak for yourself," said Norva. "We're the best we can be right now, Mrs. K. You?" Mrs. K looked at Flor. "I don't feel so good. I made things worse." "How so?" I asked. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. "I didn't tell the truth, and now there's more trouble." Her upper lip was moist. She licked the sweat away. I turned away with a grimace. "More trouble?" Norva asked innocently. "Yes, I kept secrets." "Which ones?" I asked. "Secrets about everything, about your papa, where he goes at night. He's been naughty." "You mean with Jane?" Norva said flatly. "We know about that." "Oh no, that's not secret," she said. "Everyone knows that." I looked at Norva. "They do?" I mouthed. Norva gagged and shrugged. "I mean on Friday night," Mrs. K said. "Weren't you with your friend, working on your project?" asked Norva. "Yes," she said. "Is Pap your friend?" I asked. "Yes," she said louder. "Is Pap stepping out on Jane with you?" asked Norva. "Norva, that's gross." "Why gross?" Mrs. Kowalski said. "I'm old, not dead." "But no, he helped me with my project, but I didn't tell police." "Why though?" I said. "He said keep quiet or he'd get fired, so I did. I said nothing, but I hate the police," she spat. "Not on our side. When we arrived in North London, 1968, they beat up Mr. K. Bad. Broken eye, broken nose, broken legs." I shuddered. "I'm sorry to hear that." "And now they're going to do it again," she continued. "I kept quiet, but this time I should have talked. That sharp came to me and asked, 'What do you know?' I told her nothing. Then I see your papa arrested. I need to fix things. I'm sorry, girls." "You can fix it now," Norva said. "Will you?" Mrs. K nodded. I reached for my phone. "Tell us your truth, Mrs. Kowalski," said Norva. I put my phone in front of us. "Angle the phone better, please. I look like a gull," she said. Mrs. K reached into her pocket and took out a dusty, dry lipstick and smeared it around the vicinity of her mouth, mostly on her teeth. She took a deep breath and looked into the camera. "Recording?" she said. I nodded. She took a deep breath. "Joseph Alexander was with me, Kenzie Kowalski, on Friday night. He was repairing my flat, number 222. He left just after 12:15. I know that time because I took my teeth out at that time. He took big bag of rubble, old wallpaper, old clothes, and a paint can to the chute. He will get in trouble for helping me. The council don't like it, but he's not a murderer, not Joe." I put the phone away. Norva hugged Mrs. Kowalski tight. "You're legendary, Mrs. K, a true icon. Take care, okay?" "Yes, yes, girls, I will," she said with a wave of her hand. "Be safe now, there's still a murder on the loose." I shuddered and looked over at Norva. "We know," I said sullenly. "Stay with me tonight?" We shook our heads. "We're crashing at George's," Norva said. Mrs. Kowalski went to walk away. "Hang on, Mrs. K, what was your project?" I asked. Mrs. K sighed. "It's been 4 years since I lost my husband, 4 years. Before he died, he made me promise." She put on an old man's voice. Promise me you will fix the spare room and make art again. Promise." I promised him and I didn't do it. Room stayed messy for 3.5 years. When it started to get warm, I knew it was time to fix it. I can't go on another year. I wanted it ready for Mr. K's anniversary, and now it is. Bye, girls. Keep me in the loop? "Of course," I said quietly. She walked into her flat. "Wow," said Norva, rubbing her eyes. "Just wow. There's Pap's alibi." We hugged each other tightly. "I told you he didn't do it," said Norva. "And I told you we needed the evidence to prove it," I retorted with a smile. We held hands. "Before we do anything else, get that video into the world. Upload that baby now." I did, straight to YouTube. I copied the link into a new message. I attached photos of the emails to it and sent it to Katie. Pap's going to be free, I said with a wide smile. I'm so happy, I sighed. Don't be too sprung yet, Norva said in a low voice. We know this already, but Mrs. K is right about a murderer on the loose, and we don't know how they did it. My smile dimmed. What do you mean, Norva? Think about it. I racked my brain. Think, Nick, think. I thought back to the video, the timings, the paint can. Weapon, paint can. Norva, I whispered. If Mark was Mr. 1215, then Hugo was already in the chute when Pap got there. He put the paint can in first, directly on top of Hugo. The paint can is not the murder weapon, is it? Norva nodded. Way ahead of you. So how did he die, Norva?